Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is the real Kale back again, making more content for you guys. MK1 is officially revealed. There's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of hype on how the game is going to play, and we're all very eager to see what encompasses this Mortal Kombat game. It's a whole new era that NRS and Liu Kang themselves are touting about this game. So, before any big reveals happen, I'm going to make a quick little wish list on what I would like in this game. There's not a specific amount going into this wish list. These are just the things that I really would like to see, and that I think if they're all incorporated into the next Mortal Kombat, this game is going to be perfect, virtually perfect. And if I get all these things, or honestly, if I get most of these things in the game, I think I'm gonna really, really enjoy this game. But anyways, let's begin. Let's talk about what I want in Mortal Kombat 1. Let's begin. First things first. No variations. No variations in MK1. I think this is a sentiment I think the community is sounding off on, and they're making it loud and clear. And I think there's a very good chance that MK1 is not going to have variations, mainly because, well, first of all, if there was going to have variations, I think they would have announced it already, just like how they did with X and Mortal Kombat 11. That was like the big gimmick of the game. And I just think that variations had their time in the limelight, and it's done now. I think it's time to go back to form, which is kind of what it seems like MK, that's like the overall theme of MK1. Let's bring it all the way back. I say load these characters up. Load them up with moves. Give them all the tools and let us figure out where they go. I think this is going to make for much more interesting gameplay. So it's not that I didn't like the variation system in X and 11. X did it better than 11. I think you definitely had more archetypes per character. Whereas 11, I feel like 11, even with the different variations in that game, you could have choose your moveset. The characters were really just shells of their former self, and there weren't any true archetypes in that game. I don't like the idea in 11 that a character like Melina, you have to choose between her having her ball roll or having this attack throw. And there's just some moves in like a lot of these characters. Melina is one of them. Rain is one of them too. Like, some of their moves should just be a part of their kit. Like, why should I have to get juice between Geyser Palm not Geyser Palm, Hydro Pump, and the Geyser Kick for Rain? Like, why should I have? But meanwhile, Scorpion gets to have his spear and his teleport throughout the game. I just think that was just very, very weird, and it made characters very boring. It made the game overall kind of stale, to be honest. In a way, having custom variations opened up the game a lot. I think I'm glad that we had it, but people always defaulted to what the best variation was, or the most fun one was, or the one that gave you the most combo potential, because that's what we believe the characters should play like. And honestly, after customs, once I was able to make the loadout that I designed, I really never switched off of a loadout at all in MK11. And it honestly kind of limited the game a bit. I feel like when you give us too much choice, you actually, in a way, you give us less choices. Weirdly enough. But let's go back to form. Load the characters up with moves and tools and options, basically like how MK9 was. MKX kind of was like that too, because the variations are more well thought out, more defined. But give them everything. Give them good tools. Don't give us crap, because there's a lot of crappy moves in 11. There was a lot of crappy moves in X2. But give us good tools and let us play it with everything. Let's toy around with it. Number 2, no RNG gear unlocks. So the gear system in MK11 was built off of Injustice 2. But the big difference was in Justice 2, the gear affected your stats and certain moves that you had on your character, whereas in MK11 it was purely cosmetic. I like the change that they made all this stuff purely cosmetic, but it didn't change the RNG of it. And I think we should go back to the traditional way of how video games should have been. If you see something, you save up your in-game currency. Emphasis on in-game currency, not your wallet. I'm talking about the coins you earn from playing the game. And then you see it and you buy it. I think that is a much better system than making us RNG unlock stuff. Because it's actually super manipulative as hell. The idea of these RNG systems is really just to get the player playing the game more hours than they normally should. And I feel like the RNG system really wears down on people who don't play this game online. It didn't really bother me overall because my grind in this game is getting better at the game, learning combos, learning matchups, learning how to fight. But there's a ton of people, and Mortal Kombat has one of the biggest casual audiences. There's a ton of people who basically abandoned MK11 because the single player portion of the game was very manipulative, very grind heavy, and those towers, honestly, there's a reason why I stopped doing them like a month or two into the game, because that shit was very, very akin to a mobile game. Lots of collectibles, consumables, just the towers started becoming gameplay. They started having gameplay that you just would not see normally in a fighting game, with all these dodging, platforming, projectiles hurling at you. The enemies have like craziest amounts of health. Let's dial it back. Let's get back. So if you see something and you have the money for it in game, you buy it. That's it. No more RNG. This is going to be a controversial choice, but hear me out, y'all. I want Crushing Blows and Fatal Blows to return. I think Crushing Blows was probably the most interesting gameplay mechanic introduced in 11. And I remember a lot of people were skeptical about it at first in 11, but I think they did a great job implementing it into the game. It wasn't hard to keep track of. Not only yours, it was very easy to keep track of your opponents. It added to the game's brutal aesthetic. They're so much fun to watch. I love figuring out where to place them. It added a lot of depth to the gameplay, as a matter of fact, and it added a lot of skill in my opinion. However, I do think they need to be reworked a little bit, meaning that some characters in MK11 just couldn't really make use of the mechanic because their crushing blow requirements are too hard to meet, or their crushing blows just suck. They just didn't have as many, or some of the crushing blows honestly just did way too much damage. I think Geras, he's like a perfect example of an MK11 character. Like he plays the game extremely well. He has crushing blows out the wazoo, and they do a lot of damage. And it sometimes feels like you can just get deleted off of just one little error. I think some people didn't really like that. Maybe some of them could just be toned back into its damage output. I prefer the crushing blows that that reward you for hitting a certain amount of hits in a combo, or the ones that start combos like off of a punish encounter. I like those ones the best. And as for fatal blows, is controversial again. I love the idea of fatal blows. Fatal blows added a lot of flair and pizzazz to Mortal Kombat 11. I like the idea of having supers in a fighting game. A nice cinematic super that shows off the game's aesthetics, and it shows off the power and just the flavor of the character. It adds the personality to the character. You're not just playing an avatar that has a tool set, y'all. You're playing a character in a video game that has a lore, that has special abilities that separates them from the rest of the cast. And I think the Fatal Blows exemplify that. It's so easy to balance Fatal Blows. It's frustrating to me that they never balanced them in MK11. All they had to do was make them more punishable on block. I'm talking about death. Like, if you want to make them all -40 on block, I'm okay with that. I think if you manage to block a Fatal Blow, you should be able to have your way with your opponent. And on top of that, just don't make them come back, like, at all. If you use it, if it's blocked, if it's whiffed, it's gone. No matter what. If you use it, it is gone. I like the way how Tekken does it. Tekken, it comes back after every round. I'd rather it be gone for the game, but I like the way that once it's blocked in Tekken, you don't have to worry about it coming back. The returning feature was dumb, and it slowed the game down to a crawl. And a lot of scrubs would just rely on it heavily, and it made players, it made reacting to it very difficult. And especially when you blocked it, you couldn't really punish it because they had so much pushback, or the negative frames just weren't enough to get in and get a full combo. So that's it. That's all they have to do with it. I would love to see these two features return into the next game. I think most people are gonna agree with me, but I'm gonna add a little twist to this with this next one. No breakaways, but I kind of would like to see a Mortal Kombat game with no combo breaker at all. So I really hate. I think a lot of people could agree with this. I really hate the combo breaking system in MK11. Breakaways was a terrible idea. It got a little bit better after I think it was 11 or Aftermath, where they added armor breakers, but it still created an issue where it basically rewarded people for getting touched. And we need to go back to, you get opened up in a fighting game, you're dying. If someone has good execution, good combos, you're eating this damage. I think Mortal Kombat is the only fighting game where they give you the option to break out of a combo if you get touched. Street Fighter doesn't do this. Tekken doesn't do this. I don't think Marvel vs. Capcom is like this. What is another one? Dragon Ball Fighters. It's not like that either in that game. If you get touched in those games, the only thing stopping you taking for more damage is your opponent's execution. And I think it's very hard enough to open people up at MK11. Why should somebody be falling out of my combo, getting up off the ground, and punishing me? It was a terrible, terrible mechanic. I think it could go back to traditional breakers. If they want, traditional breakers would be really good. But I think, hey, if this game does not have a combo breaking feature at all, I would be okay with that as well. I think if they make the game balanced enough around that, where if you get touched, you're eating this combo damage, and the only thing stopping that damage from coming is your opponent's execution, that would be very interesting to see. But overall, just not the breakaway system that we see in MK11. Just throw that in the garbage. I hope we never see it ever again. Number 5. This is the 5th one. Full ranking system. So MK11 had a ranking system. I'm doing air quotes around that because it wasn't a real ranking system. That was like a seasonal XP grinding system sort of thing. I want a full ranking system, something similar to what you saw in what you see in Tekken and Street Fighter. The way those games do their ranking system is very good. You're able to set people apart based on their skill level, and it's just a lot more rewarding, and you actually can tell if you're getting better at the game. MK11, I don't think the ranking system that they introduced in Combat League was a good indication of player skill. And the major flaw of Combat League was that it resets the rank after each season. No more seasons, I would say. I would say maybe you could do seasonal rewards for playing online. Like if you play online during this period of time, you get this amount of rewards, sort of thing. I like the idea of rewarding people for playing a harder mode, but overall, I still think that the rank system should not reset. I want a traditional skill system where you only play people in your rank. That was another big flaw in Combat League. You could have played people way above your rank every now and then, and it was a joke, honestly, the way people played in Combat League because of the rank. The ranks really did not matter. The unlocks did not matter. I think rank should be kind of just based off of you wanting to compete against higher level players, and truly nothing more than that. If you want to reward players for that, I would say don't make it these crazy skins that you really want to get, because then you just get weird players on there that play funky, that play weird, that don't care about the skill of the game. They just want to BM and do awful stuff and make the online experience miserable, really, and just really punish players for rage quitting too. I don't think there was enough punishment for rage quitting in MK11. You lost a couple points, but it's so easy to get your points back in Combat League. So a real ranking system that displays your true skill, similar to Tekken 6 or Tekken 7 and Street Fighter 6, that would be much appreciated in Mortal Kombat. This would be a quick one. This should be a no-brainer. I've been begging for this throughout the entire lifespan of MK11. A ping and Wi-Fi filter. I don't think any fighting game that I know of that I play has a Wi-Fi filter. So that might be a bit difficult, but at least we should limit our ping connection. I think Tekken 7 has this and Street Fighter 6 has this as well. I just don't want to play against people with bad connection. And I have a wired connection. I shouldn't be allowed to play on someone else's Wi-Fi. The threshold for the connections in ranked in MK11, I think it was 150 ping. So if someone had 145 milliseconds of ping, you'll be forced to fight them. But here's the thing: if they're on Wi-Fi, the connection is gonna it can go all the way up to 200, and it can go all the way as low as like 100. So it was all over the place. That's the reason why I hate Wi-Fi. It's just inconsistent, and the threshold for the ping was way too high in MK11. So bring that threshold down. Make it determined to the player. Like if I don't want to play no one that is over, let's say 70 or 80 ping, or 4 or 5 bars of connection. Let's bring out the threshold to that. That's my decision, and if I have to wait a little bit longer for games, that's fine. I just rather have a better connection rather than me get into a game and then I feel like I'm fighting not just the player, I'm also fighting their connection as well. Some of y'all who watch this video, y'all are on Wi-Fi. You're a part of the problem. If you feel some type of way for me saying this, I don't apologize. You know what the deal is. Get yourself an Ethernet cable, you nasty bastards. All right, we don't want to play against you. Period. All right, so full crossplay functionality. I think this is gonna be very important for the longevity of the game and the player base and the community. They've basically confirmed this, but unfortunately they've already said that it will be a post-launch thing, which is pretty disappointing if you ask me, that it's going to be post-launch, because I have to bring it up. I've been bringing up these other games, Street Fighter 6 and Tekken 7. Well, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6 is going to have it at launch. They had it in their beta this past weekend, and Tekken 8 is going to have this, and I really do hope they nail it. MK11 was a good taste, but it wasn't full crossplay. It was only PlayStation and Xbox that could have done it. In addition to that, it was only in regular matchmaking, I believe. Regular matchmaking, you couldn't invite someone on Xbox like through a room or something like that. And I think crossplay was King of the Hill was just not available with crossplay. I think all game modes need to be crossplay across the board, across all systems. So no matter which system you're on, you can all play together. And I think there's gonna be a lot more players online overall. There's gonna be a lot more variety, and the ecosystem in the game is just gonna be much more healthier if we all can just play together across all game modes. Hopefully they don't take too long to implement this. I think this is gonna be very important, but time will tell. Lastly, I think everybody is waiting for this, to see this, to confirm this. More combo paths, more combo routes. I think I speak for everybody when I say that MK11's combo system, while there were combos in the game and there was some cool stuff, and with the crushing blow system, you could have gotten a lot more combo damage than other NRS games, honestly. But the flair in the game, you couldn't show your personality through your character in MK11. The game was very watertight. You basically always had to go for this at this time, and the combos in this game were very easy to do. Very, very, very easy to do, except for a couple of characters. Really, the combo application only differs really with crushing blows and just a couple of characters. Other than that, you basically can go for the same thing off a hit almost all the time in MK11, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people shit on this game, because the combo paths and the variety were so low. MKX had it. So this includes, and I'm really hoping to see this when they reveal gameplay. Bring back the neutral ground bounces, please. The neutral ground bounces, it's crazy how much that was, how much that just added so much combo potential to MK9 and X. And not having that in MK11, it really did mess up the combo variety and combo paths. And I just want to see more launchers. I want to see more capture states. I want more special moves to cancel into that can pull off more combos, more higher execution stuff that you really have to lab out and grind. Because the combos in MK11, you could really learn combos so quickly in 11. It could take about a half hour in training mode for almost any character. They'll just learn like 2 bread and butters, maybe 2 corner combos, and you're good to go online. The rest of it is just application, matchup knowledge. That's really the grind of MK11. I want to get back to really labbing a character in training mode to figure out combos, because that's what most of the community uses the training mode for that. And it did hurt a lot of people to see how watered down the combo system was in MK11. And it sounds like I'm shitting on MK11, but I really do love the game. Y'all can see it on the channel, but MKX combo system did it a lot better. And I think that's one of the reasons why people say MKX is a much more fun game than 11. So there you have it, y'all. Those are my things that I want to see in MK1 that I think that would make the game virtually perfect. I think I got about 8 stuff, so let's recap again. Let's recap what I spoke about again. So number 1, no variations. Number 2, no RNG gear unlocks. Number 3, bring back crushing blows and fatal blows, but rebalance them, please. No breakaways, or should I say no combo breakers. But if not, bring back the combo breakers. I'll be okay with that. Full ranking system in Combat League or whatever the rank mode is. Ping and Wi-Fi filter. Full crossplay functionality. And just overall more combo routes and paths for more variety. Another thing that I kind of wanted to speak on, but I'm a little bit different on this. The meter system, whatever system that they're going to implement in MK1, I honestly think the way meter worked in MK11 worked for that specific game, but I think the way the meter worked in the previous Mortal Kombats worked for that specific game too. So I'm a little bit I'm not on either side of the fence with the way meter works. That's why I didn't incorporate it. But whatever they choose, I feel like they've done it well before. Whatever fits the game and how the tempo of that game and the way that game plays, I think they'll make it work. I'm not too worried about that, honestly. But overall, let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you agree with anything. Let me know if I missed something. Maybe you want to add on to this list. Maybe you disagree with something. Maybe you think that, one of the points I made wasn't good at all. So let me know. Sound off in the comments. Very curious to hear what people have to say about this. Leave a like on the video. Share the video if you want to, keep the conversation going. But also hit that subscribe button for more Mortal Kombat 1 news, more Mortal Kombat 1 talk. Stay tuned because I'm going to be doing a roster wish list on the challenge. So stay tuned, y'all. Have a great day. Stay real. Peace.